They have added a 30 amp plug. If you're in an RV, this is very handy because now this can become the shore power. Hi everyone, welcome back to my next video. So today we're looking at a new BLUETTI. Boy, these guys pop them out all the time, don't they? I'm impressed with BLUETTI because they come out all the time and they listen and they correct mistakes that they've made in the past. So this is the new Elite 300. And so it's part of the Elite line. They have a large Elite line now growing fast. So the first one I got was, and I think the first one they produced was the Elite 200 V2. There was no V1. I don't know why it was V2, but it was. And I loved it. It's what I carry in my car. It's still in my car right now. Going to be, or this could replace it, but I will see. And so I loved the V2. It was, and the whole design philosophy of this Elite line is everything you need and nothing more, making it small and light and all the stuff that most of us will want, but hardly anything extra at all. And so that made them a little cheaper, it made them a little smaller, it made them a little lighter, and I like all of that a lot. What it does mean that this is going to be mainly for us in camping. If you're in a car, I'm in my car, my Subaru, the Elite 200 fits in my car super well. If you're in a car, SUV, van, minivan, it's perfect because it has everything you need and nothing more. All the ones that have the more, they do more, they cost a little more, but they're bigger, quite a bit bigger usually. And so I don't want bigger, I want what I need and nothing else. And so I really like that about the Elite line, that they're doing that. So this is the 300. First they came out with the 200, which I love, and as you know, it has 2,000 watt hours. Then they came out with the 100, which had 1,000 watt hours. I have them all. I'm going to show them here to you here in a minute. And then they came out with, I think there's a smaller one. I think there's a 50, but I'm not sure of that. And they also came out with the 400. And so the 400 is 4,000 watt hours. The 50 would have been 500 watt hours. And now this one is out of sequence because the 400 is already out. This one has 3,000 watt hours. So here they all are. Here's the 300, the 200, and the 100. And you can see the 300 has a third larger battery, 2,000, 3,000, but it's not much bigger. You can't see, and I'll turn them around and you will be able to see, is that it's deeper. And so it's quite a bit deeper. It's only 7 pounds heavier to get a third larger battery. And actually, it looks to me like they're outside. Boy, don't break my table. Boy, their outside dimensions are really close. Not perfect, but really close. This is a little taller. The 200 is a little taller. The big difference is the depth. It's quite a bit deeper. And I'm going to try this in my car, see if this fits. If this will fit in my car, it's going with me from now on. This will stay home. And then the 1,000. So if you only need a smaller one, 1,000 is enough for you. It's cheaper. It's much smaller than either of these. And so that's a pretty big deal. And if you only need 1,000 watt hours, then this is the one to get. If you have to have two, this is so perfect. It's right in the middle. And that's what I like. It's not too small. It's not too big. It's just right. It's Goldilocks. That's why I've fallen in love with it. However, I might fall in love with this. It's only 7 pounds heavier and it's not very much bigger. So that would make it substantially better to my mind. They did put one new thing in. Like I said, the idea here is they all have what you need and nothing more. They've added something more. They have added a 30 amp plug, which allows you to plug your RV. Now, this is a friend's RV because I don't have an RV, never owned an RV. And this is the 30 amp outlet. Now, that means this is 120 volt, 110, 120 volt. And when you go to an RV park, almost all of them will have a pedestal. If it's, a full service RV park, it'll have a pedestal and you'll have this cable that you carry in your RV. It's pretty long. And then you park beside the pedestal and then you plug this in. And so that's how you're getting 110, 120 into your RV, and you're charging your batteries and you're running all the appliances, and it runs the 12 volt appliances as well. And so if you're in an RV, this is very handy because now this can become the shore power. And this particular one is hooked up to 400 watts of solar, but still, she can run this whole RV basically just off of this by plugging it into there. That is a really big plus. The 2000 really is a little too small battery capacity to do that. And so I understand why they did not put that on here. Again, all you need and nothing more. And so if you live in a minivan or a car or you know, whatever you're living in, unless it's an RV, which comes with a 30 amp service, then you just don't need that. And why put it on here? But now with the 3000, this is kind of what I would think is the bare minimum of running an RV off of 3000 watt hours. And so, yeah, I think it's really, really good. And like I said, they listen. And I think that's one of the ways that they respond is that they see that this is the bigger one and people will want a 30 amp service, so they put it on there. Now, I don't know what the price will be on this yet. This is pre-release. This isn't even on Amazon. Well, when you see this, it will be available on Amazon. But as of right now, today, when I'm shooting this, I don't know what the price will be. It'll be a really good price. It's always a good price at release. So that should be out. Right now, I'm shooting this in mid-February of 2026. So this should come out new, I believe, in March of 2026. So if you're in the market for one, these are the ones I would be considering. The 1000, if you only need a smaller, less powerful, the 2200 Elite 200. If you need bigger, this is a very well balanced system. And if you really need even more and you have an RV or you might potentially want to be in an RV someday, then the 3000, the Elite 300 will really serve your purpose well. So let me give you the numbers. So we'll go over all the important numbers, and they're very, very similar to the others. The battery is 3014 watt hours. The inverter is 2400. And there's become kind of a thing to get the inverters bigger and bigger and bigger. But really, that's all you need. 2400 will run any appliance because that's the largest appliance you can run off of a standard 120 circuit. And what you can't do is run multiple big appliances at once. You can run multiple small appliances at once, but you can't run, so you couldn't have your air conditioner on and then try and microwave something. It would just kick off. It would protect itself and just kick off. So 2400 is enough for nearly everyone. But if you are wanting to do a house backup or a whole house system, it's not that. And it's not trying to be that. And it's not charging you. And it's not as big as one of those systems would need to be. So that's really important that you understand that. It has an XT60 port, and it allows it to take 1200 watts of solar. And so that's really good. It's 1200 watts is going to be enough. Most of us will not have more than 1200 watts. It's at 60 volt, and that's not good. I wish it were 120 or 150. You're not trying to run a house. If you're trying to run a house, then you're going to want a higher voltage, and you'll almost always get the higher voltages. But you're not going to get that if you're just trying to run an RV or a car or something smaller. The weight is 58 pounds, and so that's a very lightweight. In fact, the Elite 200 is 53, so it's actually 5 pounds, maybe 5.5 pounds heavier than the 200. And I find that I don't really understand that, but that's what the manuals say. Boy, that's feel wise. I don't have a scale, but feel wise, they seem very, very similar. And one of the big things you want to be concerned about is the AC input. If I am somewhere, if I'm running a generator or if I'm plugged into shore power or somewhere, it will charge at 1800 watts off of AC. What no one tells you, and everyone should tell you, is you keep repeatedly charging these batteries, any of these batteries, it doesn't matter which brand, at 1800 watts, and you're going to shorten the life of your system. So don't do that. This is an emergency thing if you're going to charge at 1800 watts, not something you do routinely. One thing that's pretty important to a lot of people is UPS, uninterruptible power supply. If you need that, then you're going to understand what I'm saying. And if you don't need that, you're not going to understand it. So I'm not going to go through the details. The bottom line is the UPS is about 10 milliseconds. And that's what you really ideally want a UPS to be, that fast. So if that means something to you, then you're going to be glad to have it. And if it doesn't mean anything to you, you don't care anyway. So we've been using it for a while, and It's just worked super well. As you can see, it's amazing that they've gotten another 1,000 watt-hours of battery, and it's hardly any bigger. The one way it's fairly different is in the depth. So you can see it's a good 2-3 inches, 2.5 inches wider. It's not that the other dimensions are about the same. It's a little lower, but it is a little deeper. But you know what? Most of us are going to put this back up against a wall, fairly close to a wall, and the depth out doesn't make any difference at all. What I love about this so much is its small size. This almost matches it. Not quite, but almost matches it. So as you can see, we are hooked up to the 30 amp shore power on this RV. She's been using it for a while. It's worked just fine. We've had a lot of cloudy days since we've been testing it, so it's hard to know really how well it's keeping up. But it's worked perfectly in every way. She runs her 110 devices, 120 devices inside, right off here. The 400 watts coming in. We've had so much clouds that it hasn't kept it up with it, because the draw on an RV is very high, and 400 watts is really minimal, really minimal to run an RV. So I don't really expect it to be able to, but everything we've asked, it has done super well. It's a great unit. BLUETTI makes great stuff, and the design is excellent. The size, the shape, and the 3000, and having this on it, having the 30 amp, so you can grow. If you're an RV now, or you know someday you might be in an RV, that really opens up a lot of doors for you. So that's something to consider. So again, after all the use I've had, it's highly recommended. I've been using this as my daily driver for a couple of years now. The 200, the Elite 200, and the Elite 300, I think, is going to be every bit as good, and probably even better now that it has the 30 amp service on it. It gives you everything you need, and just only one extra, which is the 30 amp. And if you don't need it, it's not costing you a thing, because it's so super light and small for a 3000. I don't think you're going to find another 3000 smaller or lighter than this. So hopefully, if you're watching this in March of 2026, it will have just come out, and there'll be some really great prices on it. And maybe if you're looking for a unit, this is the one to get. And my personal opinion is, buy all you can afford and fit. The fitting is easy on this because it's so small. So then it's just a question of, can you afford it? If you can't afford it, then the 2000. And if you just can't afford that and you got to have one right now, then the 1000. They're just great units and perform super well. Just so you have a comparison to draw on, right now on Amazon, this is $900. But on Prime, or anytime there's a sale, this thing will drop down to 800. And I think I saw it at $699 once. So price, it's really hard for me to give you prices, because if you can be patient, then you can get one, much cheaper than any kind of full price, or even what it's just at regular every day, like it is now at 900. So, but that's what you want to do, is you want to compare these 200 to 300 and everything else. There's a lot of great units, and you want to buy on price, and I think that's just fine. There's so many great units now. I would buy them on price. Yeah. The one I would consider the most is Anchor, besides these. I'm a huge fan of BLUETTI, but if I were going to buy something on price and Anchor was a better price, I think I would be looking at Anchor after this. That's what I think I would be doing. I'm not a fan of the EcoFlows at all. I hate their design for the most part, and I've not had good luck with EcoFlow. I don't recommend them. They're fine. A lot of people love them, but they're not what I recommend. I think the Anchor is a really good one. That's what I would buy if I weren't buying a BLUETTI. So I hope you got something out of this video. If you did, then like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button. Leave a comment down below. Tell us, do you own a BLUETTI? What system do you use? Is there one that you really love? And then tell us. With that, the more we know about the different systems and how they're treating different people, the better off we all are. So please let us know, what system are you using, and do you like it? And we'll see you on the next video. Bye now.